Welcome to the Occupational Safety Leadership Podcast, episode number 244. And in today's episode, we're going to sit down and talk about the F word in occupational safety. I know a lot of people were thinking that there was going to be a cuss word associated with this, but the F word is focus. Many times, us as safety professionals are so busy doing the day to day stuff, a little project, 5, 10 minutes here. I got to go walk and look at something here. There's a couple of phone calls to make. It can be really hard to get focus time, to really do that deep work, to really just work and not be interrupted. Now, obviously, we want to be interrupted if somebody's hurt, there's a chemical spill. So you do have to put some qualifiers, on this then. So this is also a podcast episode that doesn't have a right or a wrong answer to it. But for those who do not have focus time, what do you think could be some things that you could use to get yourself that focus time? So one thing that helped me when I was just starting out in safety was to literally put caution tape in front of my cube, and then I would literally hang a sign that says focus time. Most of the people would come by and just say, "Oh, look, it says focus time," and just walk on. Others would just look. Most people would respect that. And after a while, it got to be known that when that's up, please don't bother me. Now, of course, that doesn't mean that you don't get an email that has to be addressed, a phone call that has to be addressed. I worked at a lot of places where you carried a radio and there's a paging system. So obviously all those have to be addressed. But just anybody who wants to come by, and I think we probably all have one or two of those folks at work that, if given the opportunity, they would sit in your office and complain about their personal problems, nothing to do with safety, of course, with personal problems. Not that we don't want to build relationships at work, um, but that's really detracting away from having that good focus time where you're just going to sit down, work hard. And many times, for me at least, focus time is I'm looking at the future. This is not the day to day stuff, you know. I'm planning for, I'm going to roll out X, you know. What are the things that I have to have in place? You're never going to have a perfect plan, but what do you do to get things started, and then you adjust as necessary, you know. So for me, it was really good to have that focus time. I know that others maybe don't need it as much as I do, but that really helped me. And I've heard of a lot of different tips and tricks out there. And I forgot who I actually got the caution tape from, because somebody had mentioned that to me, a long time ago, probably back in the early 90s. Try this and see if that works. And it worked out great. And then it worked out even better when I hung the sign that said focus time on there too. So again, there's no right or wrong answer in this podcast episode. We just want to sit down, and I want everybody to go back and think to yourself, what do you do for focus time? Do you have a place that you retreat to? A guy that I know uses a small conference room that isn't used often. He'll kind of go in there, and of course, because it's not used often, he can literally spend an hour or two straight without anybody coming in, no phone calls, nobody talking to him. So at times it is hard to get that focus time. So, and with that, let's wrap it up. So episode 244 is complete. This is where we talked about the F word, and the F word is focus. The F word is not a cuss word in this episode. I want to thank everybody for joining me today. My name is Dr. David Ayers. Thank you, and have a safe day.